Hello and welcome to episode 71 of our Timberborn Update 5 Waterbeaver playthrough here in cycle 97, day 1. Wow, there's a lot of stuff that we still have to do. But, unfortunately, we are reaching the end of the series. I'm pretty sure it's going to be safe for us to call it at episode 72, which would be on Saturday. Today being Thursday, if you're watching this on normal release and not early for beard boosters. But at any rate, there's still a whole lot of room we can do to move our well-being. A whole lot of room we can do. Wow, good job. Fantastic English skills. A whole lot of room for our well-being to increase. I said I wanted to get to 100 before the series ends, and we are going to do it. I just don't know how long I'm going to have to time-lapse to make that happen. So here's the plan. Based on your suggestions in the comments, we're going to first pause the game so I can actually move my mouse. And we're going to go to all of our workplaces and we're going to prioritize every single one because we've got a lot of haulers. And I mean a lot. We've been steadily building that army up of hauling bots for, I don't know, how long have we had bots? A really, really, really long time. So I think we can justify getting absolutely everything prioritized. So I just figured we'd go ahead and do that and see if there's any way we can get any more bots going. I know I've got a couple right now, as of the end of last episode, that are not doing anything, so I don't have anywhere for them to go. So we're going to build another one of those. Once we get there, I just want to make sure we're taking a look at absolutely everything and getting it completely. Okay, gather a flag, bite me. Good luck. But minty bamboo shoot ones, I will prioritize. Giant sequoia feller is completely unnecessary to do that. Graded cooking tents probably should have already been prioritized. These handicrafters lodges don't have the stuff. And in fact, the shell necklaces, I actually have an assembly line doing that. So I think we might be able to pause a couple of these. I've got, looks like 3 of these doing pencil sets, so I guess we could leave that. I got 1 doing explosives, which we really don't need. I've got 2 of them doing balloons, which I'm pretty sure we're not going to need any more balloons. So I'm just going to go ahead, since we're in here, and pause these 3 handicrafters lodges. That should reduce our population a tiny bit as well. Harvesters' offices, those can get prioritized. Although we probably don't need to. Look at, we got 12 hauling bot standby areas. That's how many of these bots we have, and they're all completely full. The hauling tower is actually still fully employing beavers, so I guess we can let that still be a thing, but eventually we're going to want to turn that off. High temperature foundries can get prioritized. All this can get prioritized. The underground factory operating team, yes, we do have one of them making drill bits, but we still don't have the metal and all the resources to manufacture those, so we are trying. It's just, there's so much stuff that's backed up downstream, or I guess upstream in terms of supply chain, that we just cannot do. Irrigation lodges, I'm not going to bother prioritizing those. That's literally the only job, is to do that. Large farmhouses, which one is this one? Lag. Yeah, I think that's fine with just the 2. Somebody left a comment saying that we might need to put in some more workers because the pumpkins aren't all being harvested. But this honestly is fine. Right here, I think our large farmhouses are going to be okay. Lemonade stands are missing lemons because somebody cut down a whole bunch of lemon trees. Spoiler alert, it was me. But that's not really that consequential of a thing, so I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time worrying about it. All that being said, if we do have like 200-something haulers, actually almost 300 probably, if we have those bio beavers in there, we can do that. So we'll talk about the library in a little because that's actually kind of funny. Lumberjack's barn, there's not really much that can actually be cut down, and this lumberjack barn has nothing to cut. So I'm gonna go ahead and just pause it because again, we don't need it. We just don't need it. Mechanics lodges are done. The medium mines is actually very surprising. Those weren't already prioritized. I've got 1 doing coal, 1 doing iron, 1 doing the saltpeter, and 1 doing quartz. We had a very large stockpile of salt, so I'm pretty comfortable leaving that not being mined for the time being, but we can't forget about it. I put this one on coal because our coal drills were not running because we didn't have all of the drill bits, because we didn't have all the... It's a whole recursive thing. So, nuclear waste mining expedition centers probably can be prioritized safely. The rest of this is just not relevant. Pit and ladder lodges we're going to talk about in a little bit. Don't care about that. Scavenger flags don't care about. Screw presses are fine. Bad water pumps don't care about. In fact, we probably should pause those, but these two, the only reason they're still there is they're being used as a dam. And I can't pause buildings that are being used as a dam because that's cheating, so we're not going to do that. Super fertilizing irrigation tower bath. I feel like this doesn't need to be prioritized by the haulers, so yeah, whatever, I'll just do it anyway. Supplementary exploration team can get prioritized. Tapper shack doesn't need it. Trebuchets don't need it. The tree nurseries don't matter. Wine cellar probably could use it. This wood burner is currently paused, but I'll go ahead and do it anyway just in case. So, that is everything, minus the things that I'm absolutely sure cannot use it or would not care. Everything has been prioritized. So, let's unpause, get this going again. Remember, we have 269 bots, plus 3 are unemployed. And all of our balloons have been turned into bots. And as a result, we just have a mighty need to get somewhere for these bots to idle. So, what I'm going to do, first of all, I'm going to measure this. Yeah, we're just going to put in a path here. Lag. Get these 2 pieces out so that I can just like that, side effects included. And I'm going to pop in probably just need 1. Do I have enough planks? Oh, I got so many planks. So many planks. So much wood. So we're going to build those 2 things. That should take care of our bot problems pretty much for the rest of the playthrough. Dear Lord, this is so slow. Okay. So, there's a lot of stuff I said we were going to talk about, and I think I've already forgotten what some of it was. But we did get a comment saying that we can probably pause these towers that are employing builders, because we don't need builders, because we're not building anything. Yeah, but we're still going to need some builders. I think it probably would be a better thing to pause the ones that are doing hauling. So I will do that. Got this one here. That one there. Oh, this is so slow clicking on this. But these have a lot of beaver capacity. So you'll note now we have 18 homeless beavers. That number should be higher, I thought. But I think we should try as best as we can to get the number of beavers under 800. So I guess we can pretty safely pause a good number of these builders. I'm not going to do all of them, but I am going to go ahead and just keep pausing. I guess we could do half of each tower, which is about where we are. So, that's a thing. Hopefully. Yeah, that's 786. So, these 42 homeless beavers will eventually stop being a problem that we don't have to look into any further whatsoever. The library. Silly me for forgetting that a library, to serve as a social space, requires books. So, we're going to have to start making books. And it is just astounding to me that I forgot that the library has to have books. So, fortunately, we have the option of making library books in the library. Who'd have thunk it? Okay, so this, of course, requires paper and pencil sets. Pencil sets, I believe we have a lot, but I don't remember where they are on our list of stuff. So it's possible we don't have any. I don't know. It's very hard to keep up with everything that's in this mod. But we don't have a lot of paper. We've got 20 paper. Where are all my pencils? Don't tell me I don't have any pencil sets. That's just unfathomable Oh, they're literally right under the paper. I got 400 of them. Okay. So, it is my sincere hope that we can have library books. And in the event that I'm actually stupid and I don't need the library books, well, then we can just pretend that what we're doing actually matters. But let's take a look and see what kind of bonus the library is giving now. Fun. Library. No. No fun allowed. No fun in the library. It's a no fun zone. But I digress. There's a couple other things, specifically the making of ice has been brought up as something that would be of great benefit to our beavers. So I've got a bunch of these guys doing basic balm, I think. Okay, well this one's doing ice, which requires strong alcohol, water, and endothermic essence. Endothermic essence was something that was a problem to produce because of the quantity of the bamboo shoots that it required, which we don't really have a lot of. And I've got these distilleries currently making endothermic essence. And again, the bamboo shoots are just an eternal, huge problem. So I guess at some point today I'm going to have to start planting more of those. I don't really know where I'm going to put any. They're just... They take up so much space. They don't really take that long to grow, but the proposition of space used to benefit gained is just not great. But also, I've got 800 beavers. It's completely insane. So, just so you guys know, this is actually doing something. It's just the amount of beavers we have is completely insane. So, the ice, obviously, is going to really help with the fruit bar. And it has. We have almost 10,000 stored in the fruit bar. We've got 23,000 stored in the buffet canteen. So, like I said, that's all looking really good. But I still think our biggest problems are having some of the basic components, like this paper and all this other stuff. So, like I said, paper is one of those things that is very, very easy to run out of. And we have it being made. I don't know if it's this one exactly. No, this one's making the drill bits. But it is making drill bits. That's good to see, but I don't see any in storage. And I know they're not going to be put in there. What are these, agronomy? Yeah, okay. So, now I'm growing somewhat concerned about the drill bit situation because we're making a bunch of them now, but are they actually being stored? Okay, I've got 3 drill bits in here. Got 2 in here. And I got 3 in here. So we are actually producing drill bits. And of course, this one is also producing drill bits. It just takes 10 hours to make 1 drill bit versus coming over here to our abyss area. And this one makes 1 drill bit in 1.15 hours, which is a much better value proposition if you ask me about it, but that is what it is. Do I have another one of these over here, or are the other ones over on the other side? Why do I have 2 of these making methane? That seems incredibly insane. I got 70,000 methane. So I've got those. I got methane, methane. This is making brain boosting salts. I mean, I guess we need this, but I don't think it's that big of a deal. Nuclear stuff. This is where most of our glowing fluid is going, by the way. Except now I actually have 670 of it, which means I could build more mega platforms, which means I could build more tree farms. But I don't need the tree farms, because now I have enough stuff to cut all my my giant trees up. It's very weird how all of this stuff becomes an enormous problem for an incredibly specific amount of time. And then it's never a problem again. I don't really know how to explain it. I really don't. This Abyss Tourism Center is turned off, but we can go ahead and turn it back on because we do have the glowing fluid. So that's going to help our recreational pursuits for the beavers. And if we come all the way over here to this other little area of misery, this is making paper, or it's trying to, and it doesn't have enough pine resin. So pine resin is one of those things that can be made in the laboratory that's currently making the brain boosting salts. But if I switch those over, then that's going to become another issue to deal with. So that needs mushroom juice. Oh, it uses coal. Okay. So it seems to me that we still aren't making enough pine resin because that seems to be a limiting factor there. But the pine stuff, keep in mind these trees take a full 22 days to start producing resin. So it may actually be better for us to be putting in... Nope, come on. Be putting that out. There you go. That's definitely a real word. From this thing. So I think I'm just going to have to switch this over. And I really hope I don't forget, because the brain boosting salts are very important for us to do some other recipes. But you know what? I actually don't know if any active recipes are using it. I know it's very important for doing the degrees and the ENS. But the rest, I honestly couldn't tell you. Speaking of, what is the ENS making processors still? Yes, and that's not using brain boosting salts. So what is using brain boosting salts? I know a bunch of buildings can and have in the past. But now I'm just very curious, because the processors obviously go into the process of making bots. But we may not need to use these for that much longer. Let's take another look at our well-being. Library still says 0. What gives? What gives? The library is accessible. There's even library books in the library. You know what's funny is that, you know, that's probably just to make the incredibly compact library set. It probably doesn't actually do anything. But it's fun anyway. Large building with lots of books for studying library can be opened with the layer skimming tool. Okay, so that's how we placed all of our scroll racks and stuff. They look kind of tasty. Bobby the Fool. Yes, eat your library books. Don't eat your library books. You don't know where those have been. So yeah, that hopefully gives you guys a little bit more of an idea about some of the nonsense that regularly happens here. It looks like this area is completely devoid of scrap metal, which is a good thing, because that was a very, very long-standing problem that we had. What's in this? Scaffolding? Okay, don't care. So we'll just go ahead and permanently delete these scavenger flags, because we don't need them ever again. And now I really hope that these can keep up. Turn this back off. This one's actually making silicon metal ingots. Oh, okay. Okay. Well, how many of those do I have? I might not have any, because I'm pretty sure that's an ingredient in the processors. It would make sense. This is trying to make more scrap metal. It has some coal, has some iron ore, and of course methane is absolutely everywhere. And I got this one up here also doing this. Okay, so scrap metal wise we should be okay. We're just using so much of this stuff that's very, very, very hard to keep up. Alright, so I believe that at this exact moment we are probably in approximately the best possible setup with what we have access to. So, I know I'm going to pause the game again to drive you guys nuts. I had a couple people say, hey, you're not making gold. Well, we are. We're just not making enough. So, that's going to be one of those things that I got to remember where all these buildings are. Clay pit. We got to put a couple more of these guys in, because we have a large quantity of, what's it called? Dirt that could be turned into gold. And should, because we have all these other things we want to make. So, I will go ahead and put in a couple more clay pits. So now this whole area here basically doesn't matter at all, because it's no longer being used for a farm. So since I have that ability, I can just go ahead and clean this up a little bit. And I can fit in one more of these clay pits here. There we go. Make sure we have these set to gold. And we should be in a decent spot. There's this balance that has to be kept. Oh, the game crashed. Perfect. Absolutely wonderful. So, since the game crashed, I guess that is just Timberborn's way of telling me to get on with it already. So, I guess we lost about 10 minutes of progress, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and time-lapse, go back and set everything up that we talked about doing, and just let the game run for a little bit, because there is a lot of stuff that needs to get done, but it's just going to take some time. You know, that's our favorite motto, favorite channel meme, whatever it may be. But we're going to try and get stuff done, try and get things optimized a little bit more, maybe reduce the amount of working hours so we can try to get those beavers access to more recreational opportunities, and then just see what happens. Because, you know, there's still plenty of stuff we have to build, plenty of stuff that we could build but don't necessarily need to, and just a whole lot of stuff that we can continue making incremental progress on. And that's the name of the game. That's what we got to do. So, I'll, of course, be working in the background of this while I'm continuing talking to you. But we're going to do what we can and see exactly what's possible in the next little bit. And then maybe make this the last official episode of the series, depending on how our well-being shakes out. I did say I think 72 would be a good place to end it. But last episode might end up just being one of those things where we take a look at what we've done and just enjoy thinking about this whole series. It's been a while. We started this before Update 6 came out on the experimental, which was in June, I think? And it's December 4th as I'm recording this right now, so the longest series in Timberborn that we have ever done, for sure. And I think even the longest Ostro series that I did was 54, 55 episodes, maybe? Or at least the longest series that had episodes that were 45 minutes or longer. I think one of the early ones might have been. Anyway, completely irrelevant to this video at hand. Next time I talk to you will be after our time-lapse. Alright, so I've come out of the time-lapse because I just remembered that you guys specifically asked me to do this. And that is fixing the nuclear steam vent. Also, we had a high of 95, which is cool. Much rather have that as a high of 95 well-being than a high of 95 degrees as a temperature. Yes, I'm American. Yes, we use Fahrenheit. It's fine. Don't worry about it. But I digress. Nuclear steam vents, for whatever reason, were not rotated correctly. So, what we're going to do is we're going to remove it. And then, because it's episode 71 and I no longer care, we're going to put it back in developer mode. Just so it works. Because I got this to work before. And I don't know why, but it just doesn't work. So, that's gone. Now we come over here. That's the wrong one. Nuclear power. That's where it is. And the nuclear steam vent. This is without rotating. We're going to go into developer mode. We're in developer mode. I'm going to hit finish now. It says it needs deeper water to function. Unpause. And it's still there. So, it's like a cat and mouse game. We're going to hit rotate once. That has been rotated once. Finish now. And now it's working. Not that we need the water, it's just, it's the principle behind it all. So let's do it again. Try to fix this one. So that's gone. Come in here with this. Put it down. Finish now. Says it doesn't have enough water. Alright. Delete it. Rotate. Put it down. Finish now. Needs deeper water. Okay, so that was one rotation. Let's do it again. Alright. One rotation. Two rotation. Finish now. And it still says it doesn't work. So 2 rotations doesn't work. What about 3 rotations? Alright, that's 3. Put it down. Finish now. There we go. So, I'm going to come out of developer mode. No longer in developer mode. Those are both working, finally. And we don't have that notification anymore. So, you're welcome. I actually didn't check to see if there's any stuff on the ground from deleting those so many times. But it doesn't seem like there is. So, that shouldn't be a problem. During the time lapse, hopefully you saw we lowered the working hours to 12. Which is probably what has enabled this to go up to 96 now. So we'll get that sound, I'm sure, in like 5 seconds because it's been super delayed. But a whole lot of stuff is looking really good. And we paused a bunch of different things. Yep, so there's the sound effect. 97. 97. Well, you know, if we get to 100 in this episode, we don't have to have another episode. Because I said that's what my original in-game goal was, to get to 100. But I really want to build that statue of dunking. Which you can see we have 89 gold dust. I hope I don't have anything consuming gold dust. I don't think anything actively consumes gold dust, but let's just go here and take a look, because I wanted to show you guys how many of these clay pits we actually already had. Because multiple people said, hey, you don't have anything doing clay. And then, oh, wow, this is really, really hard to scroll through. We truly are pushing the limits of what this game is capable of. Clay pit, clay pit, clay pit. We have 7 now. I added 3, so we already had 4. And all of them, except 1, were already set to make gold from gold panning. They are marked, prioritized by haulers. It takes 100 dirt to get 1 thing of gold dust. So, honestly, probably would have been better if we hadn't built more clay pits. Because now the dirt is just kind of spread out everywhere. But, yeah, that goes to show you that we really are in the absolute just dregs of the end game when it comes to doing stuff here. So I'm going to hit pause again because I want to see, do I have any dirt hiding in here? I don't think I do. I do. This one does. I'm just going to go ahead and say that we're never going to fill this in because we haven't needed to have more pumpkins. However, the pumpkin amount has actually gone down a pretty decent bit. We only have 53 and we have 701 pumpkin chips. And that was something that was brought up in the comments as well as something that might need to be looked at. But I wasn't really concerned about it. I thought everything was perfectly fine. But it appears they're going through those pumpkins expeditiously. But we have 29,000, almost 30,000 things in the food buffet. I don't think we need to worry about it. I think that part of the playthrough is over, folks. So we just really need to make sure we're doing what we could be doing here. Now, we do have pine resin because I set one of these things to be producing pine resin. And I did, toward the end of the time lapse, I did come in here. I guess I could just put this on single time speed. Because we have these lemonade stands that aren't lemonade standing. So we need to be growing some lemon trees. Which we can plant, assuming they're just one tile trees. I think so, yeah. So this entire area here is going to be in range of the doohickey, scientific term, thank you. So I'm just going to have these planted in here with the help of this forester that we requisitioned. And then we've got our, come on, click please, please. Thank you, Harvester's Office. That has nothing to do in range. But soon, it will have something to do in range. If by soon I mean 24 days and 14 hours before it starts making any lemons. But that will help long-term because I am certain we're going to have to keep doing time lapses if we want to build that statue of dunking. But just so we're all on the same page, that is something that we've been working on. And our primary focus probably at this point needs to be making dirt, which thankfully we do have drill bits, so those can continue to run, and everything that the mechanical drills are bringing out is in such high demand that I'm pretty sure they're not ever going to be clogged. We just have to be okay with waiting a little bit of time to get these drills all sorted out. So, seeing how this has gone, it is very obvious that we need to have additional mechanical drills. The problem with that is where in the Oh, somebody called me up for, they thought this was funny. Where in the tiny beaver noise are we supposed to put another mechanical drill? The idea being, of course, that I'm self-censoring using beaver sounds. Well, that's a deep subject. I need to stop using that joke. This area here may be about as close as we're going to get. But, I mean, power's not too... Hey, 98. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That's the uh-oh number, because now we're one closer to 100. What was that 1 versus 100 like game show thing? I don't know. I watched like 3 episodes of that and got bored. That was a long time ago. Man, if I get to 100 in this episode, I'm gonna have to just end the series. But I want to build the statue of dunking so bad. I want to build it so bad, and it needs 3 of those gold bars. I almost have enough gold dust to make another... Uh-oh, it's 99. Uh-oh. 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 Now we're in trouble. Now we're in trouble, folks. Oh, no. Well, at any rate, I guess what I was trying to say before the progress toward 100 so rudely interrupted me. I need to make more drills so we can have more coal so these things stop getting clogged up so much. So I was going to come over here and just make a go for broke kind of situation with these coal drills. Because this has to be... Let's just pause the game. This has to be 3 blocks high. So what we would end up doing is we would blast down the appropriate length of stuff here. So, if we think about this appropriately, okay, so that's triples here, triples here, triples here, triples here. That would put in 4 of these right here. That's probably about as much as I'm going to be able to do. So then everything south of that, whatever south direction is, gets a double. Everything south of that gets a single, but it has to be the correct amount here, which I somehow managed to guess just about perfectly. All right, cool. Well, in case you hadn't put 2 and 2 together, yes, we're going to have another time lapse. It's going to be okay, I promise. And we're going to put all this stuff in. And then we're going to put in... Hopefully I have the materials to build this. Do I have the blueprints? That's going to be question number 1. ENS fancy. 34 for the floodgate dam. 23 for the water wheel. And I got 4 blueprints for the mechanical drill. Do I have unfancified ones? I do. Okay, cool. So I can just go ahead and build these and feel absolutely no shame whatsoever. The biggest challenge for this is probably going to be getting the what do you call it? Yeah, there you go. There's a scientific term for you. The scrap metal. So we're going to have to be smart here. I'm going to go ahead and get do I have this enough to this? Gargantuan storage piles? That has to be on top of something else. So I guess what's going to happen here is... Maybe I don't need to build the Gargantuan storage pile, but it is kind of fun to do that, you know? Big old storage pile. Everybody wants to build a big old storage pile. Yeah, it's not going to work. Alright. If I do that, then I can do that. So the idea here being that this is going to be a path to get over into the what do you call it? Oh wait, no, that's not going to work. You know why it's not going to work? Because this is where the power has to go in. All right. People are going to be so mad watching this. I think I can get away with it if I move it over 1 more. Which that's going to allow me to do. Let's try laying this out again. And see if this actually is going to tolerate this now. Alright, so that's where the power has to go in, which means the power is going to come around the outside. See, this is exactly why I had this put in as a power shaft intersection. Some of you didn't understand. But now you will. I told you. I told you there would be a reason for this. Alright, so that's the thing there. I wish I could get away with putting this underneath. Wait, I totally can't. I totally can't. Alright. This is really stupid, honestly, what I'm doing here. But it's fun. So that's about the size of it. Let's just get this over with. Oh, sheesh. Alright, so I'm going to now have this start a time lapse of construction and demolition, and I'm sure we're going to get to our 100 beaver well-being, and then I'll make some sort of comment about that. But by putting all of these new drills in, 1, we satisfy the people who've been asking me forever to put more drills in. 2, we start getting more dirt, which means we can have more gold. And 3, it's another cool thing to do a time-lapse on, so people aren't like, oh, you only did a 20-minute water beaver episode. Look, it's fine. We're trying our best. We're absolutely trying our best. So we'll let them take care of this. We should have all the dynamite. We should have all the materials to construct all this without any further fanfare. So, next time I talk to you will be once these are up and running. That's exciting, huh? Alright, so that took a really, really long time. But we do have 4 drills. The animations are all running. Are they actually extracting anything? Well, we're going to find out. That's going. That's going. That's going. And that's going. You know what's not going? Is our gigantuan storage, because I think I messed up. So let's peel back the layers first, and I'll show you exactly what happened here. So I thought this was clever, right? Putting in the straight power shafts underneath everything, but I forgot that the gigantuan storage pile essentially has to be set on top of a ladder to work, because you have well, that's how you get into it. So because of the way this has been constructed, I don't think it's going to work. So let me demonstrate this. So I know for a fact it won't work on top of a double platform, but just to show you. Are you serious? All right, never mind. I stand thoroughly corrected and shamed. So we're take this path out of here. I'm gonna have to. I actually don't know if this is gonna let me do this, because this is one item that has 2 floors on it. Can I click this specific path? Yes, I can. Okay. Alright, so, I mean, the reason I did it that way was so that I could run something underneath and then also have this good here. But now that I know this is possible, all I gotta do is just make sure my doorways are where my doorways are. And then I guess... that's not connected there anyway. I'll just put that there. And then, on top of this, I can put my gigantuan storage warehouse. Which will have to be, of course, constructed there. But, we do finally have 4 of these mining coal, and getting dirt, and getting all of the other fun stuff. So, we're going to leave this alone for now. And if you take a look over here, we have 135 gold dust. So, let's come into our list of doohickeys and figure out factory-wise. I got 3 paused factories. This one... really? This one's paused? Interesting. Which one is going to be the closest to all my dirt? Wait, is that actually a factory? This is on the... oh, the lag. It's on the back side of this. Let's go with this guy. And I'm going to have him start making a gold bar. No real reason for this specific factory, but we'll just go ahead and turn this on. And it's going to take 100 gold dust and 50 coal, which we are now actually producing in a slightly higher quantity and make a gold bar. It only takes 4 hours to do it, but it's going to take some time for that to get over there. So, what did we learn? I learned that I really need to pay more attention when I'm setting stuff up if I'm going to rely on it in the future. But, hopefully, and I do mean hopefully, this solves our coal problem once and for all. You can see that pretty much everything else has improved enormously. Some stuff is still going to be basically impossible for us to get, like ice, apparently. So that is what it is. But let's take some time over here and go back to this area of... Oh. There's no water here. Because it's a drought, of course. So all of my lovely lemon trees didn't even get planted. What's this guy... What are you doing, man? You didn't even plant any trees? Well, I know there's no water here in the first place, but... Yeah, that's a problem, because the way this is set up, I don't think there's a dam that I could put in. It's small enough to fit in the gap here. Well, alright, I tried. Sometimes that's all you can do. Oh, jeez, come on, man. So, I don't know what else I can do. I really don't, with the bamboo. Because everything has to be within a certain range of the tree nursery. This is not going to have water all the time, so I don't dare plant it down there. But, I mean, there's got to be somewhere. There's got to be somewhere else I can put some in. But I've pretty much covered every single square inch that I can actually grow this stuff in. Now, I do not think there's anywhere else that I can reasonably get that done with. But while we're waiting for other stuff to get taken care of, I did notice that we are out of pumpkins. It's taken how many episodes? Just unbelievable quantities of episodes and unbelievable quantities of pumpkins. But we do have some space now that this area is a lot less dependent on separating lotus flowers and all that garbage. I'm just going to go ahead and say, you know what? I don't need you over here for all the storages. And yes, we will be planting, once again, pumpkins. Because why not? Just get this installed as quickly as possible. Obviously, it's not going to be the perfect thing here because there's not every single spot available to be growing pumpkins in, but something is better than nothing. And that's what we're working with. So, we planted a grand total of 8 additional pumpkin. This only reaches so far, but this has a decent bit of extra range. So, we come in here with another irrigation lodge. Because, again, we're not using the super fertilizing irrigation tower bath because that one does not repel contamination. I'm going to put in this irrigation lodge in a manner that it can irrigate appropriately. And we're going to move on with our lives. Although I think for the purpose of actually making the best possible choices here, I'm going to move this path all the way over here. Get rid of this with the dirt. And then, see, that's not even a 2x4 space. Who cares? Who cares? Not me. I can take this away and move it over to here. Let's get that out of the way. Lag. Yes. That is kind of the problem with how this... Nope, I don't want to delete the bot. Come on, let me click on the path, please. Thank you. Come on. Oh, you know what? I know this is going to irritate the living daylights out of some of you guys, but... I'm just going to choose to do this anyway. I think I can get away with removing this. Alright, we're not cavemen, we have technology. Get rid of that. And get rid of that. And then by proxy, okay, there's one more here. Get rid of that. So, what I'm going to do first, before I get any further, is I'm going to plant my stinking pumpkins. Alright, so that fits. That fits. That fits. That fits. That fits. That fits. And I think I'm going to have to put this one. Alright, can I zoom out anymore? Is this going to reach? If I put this one here, it'll be fine. Okay. That exact spot. There we go. Now I can replant all of my beautiful, wonderful pumpkins. And not berries. Good riddance to you, berries. Goodbye. I know I don't have to have those manually removed, but that is going to be easier. So, that's something for them to do there, and we can increase our pumpkin empire. And then also, I believe, get rid of these gathered flags, because these berries are no longer going to be here, and we don't need them. So, solve that problem real quick. That one will go there. I think, I want to say that's fine to have that little jog right there. Yeah, look at all these balloons coming in for a landing right here. Alright, so what's this waiting on? Everything! Good. But we have wow, we have 1,400 pine resin. And we have 742 brain boosting salts. So we really aren't using those at all. Now what we have to do is go over to what's making the pine resin and turn that to something else. And I think it's going to end up having to be the screw press axles. Nope, that's making this. Who's making the pine resin? This guy or this guy? Click. Oh, okay. Well, we don't really need any of that now, do we? What does this one do? Complete rice fermentation. Ooh. Ooh. Except, oh, I got 3,300 rice. Okay, well, you know what? We'll do that. And that'll give us a whole bunch of alcohol, which we do need for very normal purposes. This is... Oh, now none of this is attached to a... None of this is attached to a path. How does this happen? How am I just so consistently missing the boat on connecting stuff to a path? Why is it not connected to a thing? I specifically rebuilt this with the express intent of having stuff connect. I thought I did this right. That is a ladder, is it not? Is it not? It's supposed to go into there, and that's what it does. That's what... Wait, what? Hold... Oh, alright, no, hold the phone. Hold the phone. Is this not actually built? Okay, that's too far. One of these things was showing that it wasn't constructed. Oh. Okay, the ladder just hasn't been built. That's what the problem is. I was about to say, there is no way I did that incorrectly. I have made a great many mistakes in my life, but that is not one of them. That is not one of them. I made absolutely sure. Anyway. Pumpkin party. Oh, that doesn't quite fit, but that's okay. Doesn't quite fit. Alright, well. What I will go ahead and do is just migrate this all the way down. Yes, that one will. Oh, you know what? I didn't even bother to check what the range of this thing was. Okay. I feel like if I put a little bridge here, it might actually help me out. Well, it's worth a shot. I'm not going to be able to plant all this anyway, but doing even just a tiny bit more is worth. How did I not have one here? Seriously? Oh, okay, well that's dumb. Alright, now I can finally hire some more workers for this mess. That only reaches up to there, so I'm not going to bother putting that up there. Yeah, you know what? You can have all 8 workers as a treat. That's fine. I've got 2 gold bars. Now, okay, which one was making the gold bars? Was it this guy? That's an assembly line. Of course it is. That's paused. Or was it this factory? Okay, so wow, I got 55 gold dust and I only need 100 to make number 3? Uh-oh, friends. You know what that means? It means we're really not that far away from having our statue of dunking. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's take a look at the requirements for it. Yeah, I definitely... I don't have the metal fasteners. Okay. I got 5,000 planks of wood and 3,000 logs. That's something. But I think the metal fastener situation is due in part to not having all of my factories making metal blocks. Let's check in tools. Come on, click, click. Thank you. No, it runs off of scrap metal, so why has it stopped? Why has that stopped? Oh, it's 12-hour working hours. That also might be part of the problem. Well, I did say I wanted the beavers to have a little bit more recreational time, but I'm going to go ahead and bump that back up to 14. We certainly need to be able to do that. All right, let's research the statue of dunking. 7,000. I have 100,000 science. I have 93. And I've got to find a place to put this guy, but it's 25 tile range. So, you know, there's a lot of spots we could pop this thing. And it's going to cover probably most of what we got going on. I don't think any of those are residential. This area is residential for sure. This here, if I placed it in this exact spot, which is objectively kind of a stupid place to stick it, but that would cover a whole lot of our beaver residents. So, let's see. Is this going to be a good place to even put this for thumbnail considerations? I have to think about that. You know what? Hold on. If I go this way and I mess with my field of view enough, am I going to be able to fit that in a, well, if I did that, oh, that's in the way. That's definitely not, okay. Why are you doing that with the intent of making a thumbnail? Because I make videos and I want people to click on them without it being clickbait. Oh, man, I gotta find a good spot for this, though. So this guy went on here, and that was okay. This doesn't say that it has to go on the ground. But the way that this is set up, I don't really think there's much of another spot to put it. Unless, oh. Will that? No. That will not reach the other tower of beavers. But I don't really have that many living on there anyway, so. I guess, oh, it's so boring to put it in the middle like this, though. Oh, that's such a letdown. Also, that news board probably could go somewhere else. It wouldn't be a bad spot. Oh, our baobabs are done. So now I can use the benches. Well, I guess they're probably using them anyway, but those took 70 days? 75 days to grow. Okay. Oh, wait. You know what I could definitely do? We just do this. Oh, okay, it doesn't quite reach. But, oh, that's going to be such a better thumbnail. To put this on top. I could put it in the corner? Like it's in timeout? Second reach? Ooh, hold on. Hold on. Ooh, boy. All right. Dunking statue it is. In the corner with you. Now, the rest of these are 2x2. 1x1, and then whatever. So, I guess our tower of storage is also going to be our tower of dunking. So, you know what, folks? I think this is going to be the best possible thing that we could sit here and leave for a time lapse as we possibly put an end to this series. So, I'm going to disable the HUD, let this thing go at maximum speed, and I guess we can do our end of episode stuff. End of series, maybe. I don't know. I mean, I know I said earlier in the video when I was recording, I'm not going to take it out because why do that? But I did say that maybe episode 72 would be a good stopping point. But once this gets put in, the statue of dunking, that's going to get our average well-being over 100. Unless something cataclysmically terrible occurs. And at that point, I will consider this playthrough to be complete. We've done basically everything there is to do. We built all of the relevant buildings. I don't know that we built every single building, but we did do basically everything there is to do in one way, shape, or form. So I really appreciate you being here. Beard Boosters, of course, your incredible support. Those of you who've been watching all these videos from the very beginning, your support makes it possible too. It's just, what kind of insane person makes a 71 video series on a mod for a game and only edits it for time in the form of a time lapse when it becomes absolutely necessary? That's mental. Like the total playtime on this for me has got to be like 150 hours. It's more than Persona 5 took. But anyway, I am very, very thankful for you watching these videos, and of course, our wonderful, illustrious friend who made the mod in the first place. So, thank you, thank you, thank you, making this possible. This has been such a fun and fantastic playthrough of this game, and I'm very excited for Update 6 Waterbeavers. I know there's still some more work to be done with that, but it truly is going to be a phenomenal and fun time. But I'm going to go ahead and say we're not going to even think about touching that until January at some point. Because I do know we have Ostriv Update 6, Alpha 6, whatever they want to call it, coming sometime in January. So obviously when that drops, that's going to be immediately just super hyper-focused on that. Because that's the game that launched the channel. I'm always going to love it. And it is truly a phenomenal, phenomenal city-building game. So I hope you'll join us for that as well. But don't worry, the beavers aren't going anywhere. We have Update 6 hard mode, and then I'm going to be doing a live stream series, most likely with the Emberpelts faction, starting sometime soon. But as we get into the holiday season, might start trying to do some other things with different games that we haven't had the time or the ability to get into recently. But, like I said, by the time this is done with my yapping and everything, hopefully the Statue of Dunking is also finished, and we'll be able to revel in its glory before we say goodbye to what has been a fantastic and very entertaining series. Here we go, folks. Statue of Dunking. Isn't it glorious? It's so ridiculous looking. Like he's look. Like what's happening here? Is this like one of those like fraternity initiation things? They're sure cheering about it. Statue to honor the, who did that? I love the... You know what that reminds me of, right? This thing. Amazing. Absolutely incredible. Well, folks, all we got to do now... Wow. All we got to do now is get that, get that well-being up to 100. And, yeah, look at that. Plus 3.6. So, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take this thing down to 0 hours. And put it on turbo speed. And now we get to see just how fast it goes up. 97, 98, 99, 100. 101, 102. We still haven't heard the sound yet. 103. Can we get to 105? 104. There's the sound. 104. Are we going to get to 105? Are we going to get... There's 105. Okay. All right. Well, we already did our end of episode stuff, so you know how this goes. Unless you guys really want to see something else, I think this one's done. I think that's it. So, appreciate you being here. Again, can't do it without you. Have a fantastic rest of your day. Stay safe, have fun, and we'll see you later. Take care, friends. Bye-bye.